Alright, let's go. Board the Ragnarok. Oh, hold on. There's an emergency on my phone. What's it saying? Kidnapped child. Okay. God, where's Tataru? Well, that answers my question of controls being Lopperit-sized. Hopefully.
Welcome to the bridge, everyone! I hope you have everything, because I can't be bothered turning back. Right then. Make yourselves comfortable. We're setting off in just a moment.
It's incredible.
This is Fortuno. Can you hear me? The preparations for the summonings are complete. In accordance with the 14th phase of the plan, we have moved the Ragnarok to the launch site. The gates are open. You may depart when ready.
So, are we ready?
As ready as we'll ever be. Let's get going.
Oh, come on. The burnt-out star's got more fire in its belly.
I do not understand that reference.
Try it again, with feeling.
Ah, okay, now I understand the reference. How Alfino do the honors?
Me? But I...
No need to be coy, brother. Do it, and do it well.
Yeah, you're the one who brought all the adamantite and everything to make this work.
If you all insist.
Onward unto the distant stars and beyond! Ragnarok, engage! Engage!
Engage!
whispers into the sky. I cannot imagine a greater indignity.
Do not sulk so, for thy mighty winds exist not only to buffet and batter. Nay, they may serve also to thrust forth with vigor. Such is thy glory, and thus it is an occasion to rejoice. So come, let us revel!
So long as the wind blows freely, I suppose all is as it should be in creation. I will render unto them a storm, that they may pierce the firmament and fly free!
Still in one piece? Good. Sleeping way? Report?
All's well. Fantastic, even. Thanks to the power of those primals, the engines are roaring and we're ripping along.
All values are also within projected ranges. Time to destination is 8 carats. Perhaps 7 at a pinch. All right, let's go over some points of caution. Our destination, as you know, is Ultima Thule. Lest you wonder, the place is not a star so much as a patch of emptiness. That's the extent of what our equipment could determine, anyway. From what we know of Meteon, she's likely used dynamis to obfuscate her location.
So, in conclusion, we'll only know what's there when we get there.
The crew and I will see to it the ship's ready to take off at a moment's notice. We'll support the search as best we can, but it'll be your paws on the ground, assuming there is any. But everything will be fine, I'm sure. Heidelin believes in you, so you ought to believe in yourselves. Just don't do anything I wouldn't, like waiting too long to use those portable teleporters of yours. Personally, at the slightest sign of trouble, I'd mash the button to bits, and you should as well.
Understood. We promise to be careful.
I suggest you brace yourselves. We're about to arrive and the vessel will shake a good bit. What is this? Something is interfering with the equipment. Greetings. Greetings. Can you hear me?
Meteon?
So this is Meteon.
Oh. Have you met one of my sisters? I don't remember meeting you myself. But I do know that you're from Atheris. Why have you come? All you had to do was wait. I would have delivered to you your ends.
We didn't ask for that.
I don't understand. All life is destined to end. Why choose to prolong your suffering? Effort, ambition, love, they amount to naught. Happiness, should you find it, is inevitably lost. Stolen away by events beyond your control. There is no logic nor meaning in it. You think there is. Convince yourselves. But it's all a cruel accident. Come now. I speak the truth. A truth you would recognize if you looked up at the night sky. Unbroken emptiness. Cold, dark, and silent. Your world, like every other, is but a blemish upon its perfect fabric. Life is an anomaly. It is unnatural and cannot continue. The sooner you accept this, the easier it will be.
Just to be clear, we're not here to argue with you. We know that life is fleeting, and that in the short time we have it, we're not assured happiness.
Indeed. I've seen far more sorrow in the eyes of many I've met. I myself have plenty of regrets. And one day they'll die with me. Gone to dust with my good deeds and unfulfilled dreams.
But we accept this. That our existence may seem pointless. That sorrow, rage, and despair will always dog our heels. And we press on regardless. That is why Hydaelyn guided us here. In her boundless love for mankind, she has prepared us for this trial, and in her name, we have come for you.
Yes, I sense it. A burning passion like unto fury. I know it well. For the same passion once burned in many a star before yours. Suffocated and extinguished now.
I can't breathe.
You approach the bounds of my ultimatum, where emotions dictate reality, where resignation and acceptance unite to embrace the end, where those who yet valiantly cling to life cannot thrive.
by the Fury.
Thancred?
Meteon has gone as well. Mayhap he awakened first and gave chase.
Everyone? It appears we are at our destination. This is Ultima Thule.
Not that we knew what to expect, but I wasn't expecting this. From atmospheric composition to ambient temperatures, all reading to within permissible range. This place is capable of supporting life.
If that's the case, then Thancred may well have gone on ahead. Let's go and have a look. Meanwhile, I want the rest of you to perform a full inspection of the ship, as well as a biological scan.
So it was that the brave wayfarers arrived at last at Dream's End. In following their path walked and history written, I am made keenly aware of one truth. Though the curtains may fall again and again, so long as others take the stage, ever shall there be more tales to tell. So, let them bring it to a close, I say. Let the curtains fall upon this, the final chapter in the tale of the star.
Sea of Stars, Ultima Thule. The edge of creation, the end of the universe.
A dead star?
As I live and breathe, I live and breathe. Well, the environment itself shouldn't kill us.
Well then, let us search for Thancred while exploring the area. The ship we leave in your care.
I can't guarantee you'll be of help in these strange surrounds, but I've ready the provisions note in case of emergency. Of course, if you encounter any real danger here, I expect you to return to the Ragnarok at once.
Oh great, now even the quest text is getting corrupted. Well, fortunate this place can support life. Albeit barely, I suspect, given the torpid, stale quality of the air. But never mind that, we must first find Thancred. Let's begin our search from the prow of the ship. Seems as good as a direction as any. Try not to stray too far lest we lose sight of one another. Ruins. But of what, I wonder? Perhaps we can find something to help us understand the nature of this place. A relic, an inscription, anything. Look here. This part is relatively intact. The intricate design at the top suggests it was man-made, though its builders were surely not men as we conceive of them. Having said that, I swear I have seen this pattern before. The metallic pillar has been partially melted, likely sometime in the distant past. The damage does not appear to have been inflicted deliberately, rather it calls to mind the indiscriminate destruction often wrought in the heat of battle. I thought this hill might afford a better view of our surroundings. A poor decision in hindsight. Besides, the life on the ship all is shrouded in darkness. If Thancred is here, I'd never know it. From what I can tell, we are near the edge of an island, if you can call it that, surrounded by floating debris. It's Araya, hello. Not this guy, this guy's very poorly placed.
Yeah, he's coming after me as well.
There we go. Were you able to find anything? As I feared, and still no trace of Thancred. There's nothing but emptiness as far as the eye can see, which unfortunately isn't very far. Though I can't help but suspect that someone or something is here. There are times when I sense it drawing close, and a chill washes over me, leaving me exhausted. Leaving me feelings of death and anguish. I think I might see something over there. It's a dragon. What are you talking about? There's nothing there. Before we jump to any conclusions, perhaps we should search elsewhere. Agreed. We find only more questions when we are in desperate need of answers. There's a fair stretch of terrain from the ship's port side we've yet to explore. Let us try searching there then. Green, a word, before we join the others. You see them too, don't you? The dragons. As I thought. Their presence is tenuous at best, but there's no mistaking it. No doubt your bond with Midgar Sommer and mine with Nidhogg is what allows us to perceive them. Could these apparitions be related to the dragons that now live on Aetheris? Bah, better to leave such conjectures to the others. In any case, we must be careful. We may soon find dragons they can see as well. Death and anguish. What happened to them, I wonder? Just in a place of pure despair, and you see someone flying by with a spinning tortoise.
Nothing can cause more despair than that. Or the bed mount.
Or the bed mount. Or the whale.
I don't think the whale causes despair.
Dragons? Here?
What you see is a memory of a world that once was. A world suffering a slow death, whose denizens cried out for the release of oblivion.
What? Their world is dead?
It is. Not a single life remains upon that husk floating in the vast emptiness. These creatures are shadow and shade, perpetuated only to suffuse dynamis with their unending lamentations.
Our friend Thancred. Where is he?
A strange question. He is at your side, is he not? Oh yes. He is here and there, and everywhere within this space. He would tell you himself if he had form to form words. Huh. Such loathing and uncertainty. You don't know why you still exist, in like manner to the oblivion I send. I tried to drown out your ether with dynamis. Beginning with this Thancred, who came at me despite being unable to breathe. Such a simple thing, unmaking men. In the blinking of an eye, he was gone. Didn't even have the chance to be transformed. Yet somehow, he managed to leave a slither of himself behind. What you call the heart? Or perhaps the soul. In his final moment, he cried out from it. A single word. Survive. That wish proved stronger than the despair that ruled here. It overpowered it, causing this space to be remade. Into a place you can perceive, and where life can endure. That you draw breath is proof that his soul lives on. For how long, however, remains to be seen.
Well then, We should hurry and tend to business.
It's futile. You will never reach the true me. I told you, emotions dictate reality in this space. Such changes as you might work will not alter its nature. You may see, but you cannot touch. Walk, but not advance.
Meteion holds too much sway here. How do we contend with a foe who can unmake us on a whim?
I do not know. But Thancred gave his life that we might come this far. We must press on.
Agreed. We cannot turn tail here. Not without something to show for our comrade's sacrifice.
Soul without body, a form of being with which we are now wholly unfamiliar. Indeed, for we existed in a similar state when residing in the first. The circumstances are rather more dire than that, 'tis true, but I choose to believe he is not forever lost to us.
Especially since we got our soul crystal thingy as being viewed.
Maybe we can feel him back into existence.
Yeah, that's pretty sure that was the whole point of that.
Yeah. Regardless, in sacrifice, he had afforded us a chance to prevail. Let us not squander it and ascertain the nature of this realm that we might confront and defeat Meteion. Estinian, Green, would you accompany me in speaking with these dragons? Mayhap they can enlighten us. I would ask the rest of you to survey these surrounds. If there is a path that may lead us to our quarry, we must find it. Very well. We can reconvene here when everyone has finished. Meteion said these dragons are shadow and shade, from a world whose denizens sought oblivion. As such, they're not like to be amenable to company, let alone conversation, so please, be careful. Let us split up and gather what knowledge we may. A visitor, not with this star. Could thy slender hands bring plague to our world? Thy breath extinguish life's feeble frame. Oh, how we would adore thee, alas. With time our flesh shall wither, our souls fade, and so we wait for its inexorable march unto oblivion. If thou art not come to hasten our demise, I bid thee leave us. We crave not companionship, only silence. Beyond that distant veil, paradise lost, so glorious, so beautiful. We were a proud and noble race, strength embodied, knew only love before they came. metal monstrosities of black and silver. No bonds of blood did they share, nor conviction did they have to guide them. A crushing defeat. Never had we known such shame. Still now are the winds, though none could fill these wings burdened by ignominy. We fly no more, and we sink into oblivion. Would thou wouldst bid me speak? Folly. I observe the lesson of stone. I shall not fly, nor speak, nor roar. Only watch, and wait, and end. But one sight yet stirreth my blood, tempted me to raise my voice in lamentation. Amnol, the cradle of unsung dragons. No words, no songs are possessed of the weight to describe such tragedy. Go if that be thy will, I shall remain. They led you here as well, did they? Yeah, it was described to me as a source of their woes and proof of their end. I think I'm beginning to see why. It's a hatching ground, or was. I've seen similar on Aetheres. Midgar Sommer's kind must have lived and thrived in a place such as this. Ritra said his father was driven from their ancestral home by war and strife. This, then, is the fate of those who remained. Let's have a look around. Maybe these eggs have more to tell of what happened here.
Inside the shattered egg, you find the remains of an unborn dragon. The body has already begun to decompose. The gelatinous, half-dry membrane covering the corpse suggests it failed to emerge. Murky liquid has pooled inside this eggshell. The noxious feutor is indicative of contamination. Gingerly lifting a large egg from the viscous mire, you peer inside and see a formless mass soaking the pool of embryonic fluid. Your stomach turns as you return the eggs to its resting place. This egg appears to have been broken from the inside out. Perhaps the dragonet within succeeded in hatching.
What's this? I thought all the eggs had been ruined. If the dragonet was indeed hatched, there is no sign of it here, or its sire for that matter. We should look for them. You start with the cliff tops and I'll search the plains. boisterous howling hath been quieted. By thy hand, I presume. Everything all right? I thought I heard a dragon or something resembling one. Ah, I see what's happened here. Was that your child? Perhaps some eggs within Omnol are indeed mine. If life within one did quicken, the beast thou had slain may be of my blood. Yet I do not recognize it, twisted and malformed as it is. Not a dragon in truth, the reminder of our failure, a testament to our shame. Explain. They descended from the heavens, cold, heartless machines, and with them rode war and death. With fire and fury, rage and rancor we gave answer. It was a long and bloody battle, but only the beginning. Untold chaos and destruction swept over the star. In the end, the invaders were victorious. Yet when they looked upon their prize, they deemed it unfit for requisition. They were abandoned to our ruin. The survivors ought to put away their shame, to rebuild, a futile effort. In purest soil replete with aether did we once cultivate our nesting grounds, but our lands were barren. Any eggs nurtured in such desolation were fated to rot. What few survive to hatch emerge as abominations. We shall have no new progeny. But there are dragons among you capable of journeying to other stars. That there are. Many would make the attempt, each bearing a clutch of eggs. The richest stars were home to the harshest rulers. The arrival of dragons incited contests for supremacy. When the fires faded, the wars lost and won. They too were reduced to ash and waste. It's a curse of those who seek life, to be drawn into conflict, to conquer or be conquered. A vicious cycle we now choose to break. We tire of conflict, of everything. We await now in sweet, merciful silence, free from strife and suffering, still as stone. Wait! You claim your kind is doomed, but there is another star. They want only to brood in silence, to be left alone with their grief until time itself comes to an end. The soul rewards the senseless bloodshed, a pain I understand and wish that I did not. What fools we were. But now isn't the time for such thoughts. Others will want to hear what we've learned. Come. Were you able to establish any meaningful contact with the dragons? I see. They wish to escape what they perceive to be a cycle of conflict. Thank you, Green. Estinian. As for our part, I believe we are more acutely aware of our confines than before. We started by traversing the perimeter of the island to see if there might be a path leading off of it. Sadly, there was nothing to be found. There's no small amount of debris floating about. Could there be enough to serve as a bridge to lead us elsewhere? I considered that, so I tried throwing a stone onto a potential platform to judge its integrity. But it never reached its mark. As it crossed an invisible threshold just beyond the boundaries of this island, it vanished, only to reappear before me and fall at my feet. I would not be too quick to presume that we could see outside this space as it appears. Which is why I returned to the Ragnarok and asked the Lockbridge to search for a potential path. However, the ship's instruments failed to provide conclusive data on the surrounding area. Until we know more, I think it too risky to attempt flying to another island. What Meteion told us before, that emotions dictate reality here, might be the key, but I'm not entirely sure what emotion might manifest a bridge to lead us to safety. So what you're saying is we've no way forward. At present, aye. If it is indeed emotion that governs this island, perhaps it is not Meteion's, but the dragons that hold us here. They tire of conflict, and had chosen a path of oblivion to escape it. Or rather, they had chosen no path at all, meaning there is no way for the dragons or anyone here on this island to advance. But sound theory, disheartening though as it may be. If that is the case, what recourse do we have? They are not like to be persuaded to help us. Their reasoning is built on a history of turmoil and strife, without irrefutable proof that the future is not as bleak as they believe it to be. Mayhap persuasion is not the answer. Meteion meant to unmake us then and there on the Ragnarok, and she would have succeeded if not for Thancred's determination. She conceded it was strong enough to overpower the despair that otherwise rules Ultima Thule, and reshape it to a degree. Perhaps it can be done again in like manner, by overpowering the prevailing emotions. "'Twas Ultima Thule's architect Meteion herself against whom Thancred did pit himself in a clash of wills. Though I mock no leader among them as such, I did chance encounter a dragon possessed of despair far more potent than most. Potent enough mayhap to take the calls for others, and thus their domain to follow. He spoke but a few words carefully chosen, the tone and temper alone threatening to rend my heart in twain, challenging his desire to remain allow us to alter the island upon which we stand. Alas, I fear my vaunted rhetoric availed me naught against his calcifying heart, but mayhap one of you will fare better." "Then I shall guide thee. Al-En, they call him, in the dragon tongue. I will find him nearby, eyes fixed upon the water." Well, what are we to lose? Let's get going. Also, Kira, I think I'm hearing Peter's voice if it goes above a certain threshold.
Wait, you're hearing his voice?
I think I heard him yelling. Oh, I forgot to get a... Did you see an Aether Current over by when you were talking to the dragon before? I'm gonna go check. Nope, must be further ahead.
He remaineth as he was when I first approached, entombed in melancholy.
I see. Perhaps I could...
I'll handle this.
So, waiting to die like all the others, are you?
This So you say. Yet your kind has found a new beginning on our star. One of you braved the Expanse, bearing with him a clutch of eggs. They and their children now rule our skies, their song heard by all. They were. They suffered much, and repaid their suffering in kind. Had your brethren made the selfsame choice, my family might still be alive. Yet lasting peace does not come to those who simply retreat from conflict. No, you must be willing to confront it, to stare into the face of your foe, and see yourself in him. Only then can you break the cycle of torment and tragedy. This lesson, a dear friend taught me at the risk of his life. There is no nobility in your penance. You wallow in self-pity. And after everything we've endured, we will not let you stop us.
Justinian!
Stay back!
That bars our way. The rest is up to you.
No! Not Justinian too!
There's a wind.
He's opened the way for us. Sacrificed himself to remake this place, like Thancred did.
Oh, Alphino.
Come. Let us follow the wind. It will not lead us astray. He would not.
Look there! The wind! This is Justinian's doing. I'm sure of it. We should ride its flow and see where it leads. Powerful gales delivered you onto another island. The other scion should arrive before long. He did it. He found a way forward for us. The dragons remain trapped within a prison of their own making, lamenting the horrors of war. Edistinian knew them better than most. He was a man of honor and a dear friend, willing to fight for the very end for what he believed was right. And he's still fighting, Alphinaud, just like Thancred. Their sacrifices are why we can survive here, why we still have a chance to stop her. Even in spirit, they're unwilling to give in to despair, and we mustn't either. Alice is right. We must press on, for their sake. Up, and the text is getting worse on the... As Stola and Alice said, we must continue. Notice the change in our surroundings. Perhaps this is a memory of an altogether different world. It would be prudent to learn more of it then. Tread carefully lest we lose our footing in its sand. Were it not for the violet crystal embedded in its surface, it would appear as ordinary stone. A curious script hath been etched upon them. Alas, it is not a language with which I am familiar. I cannot say I recognize it either. Nor I. The dragons, from what I recall, preserve their knowledge in song and eschew the written word entirely. So we may assume this is the work of another race, one we have yet to encounter. Meteon claimed the dragon's world suffered a slow death, seeking the release of oblivion. What life we find here like as not doth wend its way toward a similar end. What do you suppose that is over there? I'm not sure. It's hard to make out its distance, but its surface seems to bear the same crystals as its monument. Meaning there's a chance we may find whoever built them both. We should go and have a look. Come on. I'm just gonna quickly grab that Aether Current. Hail, travelers. This is a most unexpected occurrence. Oh, hello there. Is this your home? Indeed it is. Ah, forgive me. I had forgotten. An exchange of introductions is expected when first meeting those with whom one is unacquainted. When the vibration of vocal folds was still required to convey our thoughts and intention, Ia, I believe, was the pronunciation used when referring to our people. Though it is not entirely applicable given our present state, you are welcome to use this appellation. As for nomenclature to address my individual person, I believe it will be pronounced Kopkrudg. Yes, Kopkrudg of the Ia. We have encountered beings that communicate intermittently through thought, but never one that is wholly without voice. I presume we are having this conversation via the medium of ether, or dynamis, as its space is suffused with vast quantities of it. Fascinating in either case. I gather your response to my presence is positive, then? That is well, for there is something I wish to ask of you. Like yourselves, we Ia are aether-based life forms. Therefore, it may be surmised that your bodies are of comparable biological composition to those we once possessed. I have a number of queries regarding your subjective perception of the five senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. In total, I have prepared 198,712,180,827. That's rather a lot, isn't it? Ah, my apologies. I have omitted a great many details necessary to understand the nature of my request. Though we dispensed with our corporeal vessels long ago, we have rediscovered a need for the flesh, and have endeavored to recreate our erstwhile forms. However, all pertinent records have been lost due to passage of time. Take, for example, the nervous system. It is well within our power to recreate, but we have no frame of reference for sensations once experienced by our people, which may compromise our ability to interact with our physical environment. And the reason you need to regain corporeal forms. Why, to bring an end to our existence, of course. Though need is perhaps too strong a word. It would be simple matter to unmake ourselves through the use of etheric exsanguinators, but such a death seems inadequate. The traditionalists among us believe proper death requires an inescapable sense of impermanence in one's final moments, an experience found only with bodies of flesh. We should very much like to hear more of your plans. In exchange, we'll answer any questions you have to the best of our ability. Such an exchange of information would prove useful. Very well. To ensure efficacious exchange, I hereby invite you to our home. Yes, the abode of the Ia, where we traditionalists prepare for our demise. I presume your consent to answer questions is indicative of a tacit approval of our plans? In which case, your cooperation is greatly appreciated. I must caution you, however, to be mindful of the Ia wandering the desert. Their desire for bodies of flesh could be described as overzealous. Now, if you would follow me. This is going rather smoothly. Not that I'm complaining, mind. Even so, we mustn't forget their aim is oblivion, much like the dragons. Though I fail to see why a civilization so seemingly advanced would choose to unmake all they have created. At any rate, we will find no answers dallying here. Let us be on our way. Welcome to our abode. Most of our compeers you will find remain idle in their domiciles, though your quizzical expressions indicate my phrasing is unclear. I speak, of course, of the violet crystalline constructs hanging from the stone structures there. You say they remain idle, but what of your work to regain corporeal bodies? An astute question, and understandable given your finite nature. We have no desire to pursue our research, for it is no longer necessary. If in our idleness we are struck by sudden inspiration, we rise to pursue said inspiration to its conclusion. That is why I was present for your arrival, and why I continue to engage with you still. But while others are not currently in a motile state, rest assured they would not object were you to disturb their respite. You need only cast your thoughts towards one of their crystalline domiciles to communicate. You cast your thoughts toward the crystalline domicile, but there is no response. There should be an aether turn up here.
I think there's 2 on this island, yeah.
Yeah. There's one. You wish to speak? Very well. Pray, a moment if you would. Why we seek our end, you ask? If you wish to know, I will tell you. Just a moment. I must remember. What form did I take when last I emerged? Strange moaning comes and goes, but soon fades into silence. Oh hey, a body of water. I wonder if I can fish here.
Probably. You can fall in.
Yep. Did your inquiries yield satisfactory responses? No, they mostly say they need to get ready. I see. If they fail to answer, then it is likely their minds have unraveled due to prolonged idleness. They are not but concentrated ether now. Worry not. There are others who have need of those lodgings, and they will not prove a hindrance to remain as they are. But more importantly, you said some few did answer your request for an audience, yes? I imagine they'll be with us ere long. I had no luck, but everyone else fared well off. But quite a few Ia have awakened. Ah, there they are. May I introduce you to Lalak, Yudik, and Nenid. It has been too long, Kofkud. I dare say Sadr IV has since completed an orbit. Indeed, until the travelers brought it to my attention, I hadn't noticed how unraveled some had become. Travelers? Ah, of course. The ones who wish to know why we seek to regain corporeal forms. The truth of the matter is as plain to see as the neighboring systems. My single account would fail to satisfy the requirement for scientific objectivity. Thus did I bid them to awaken you. Am I the only one who struggles to tell who is speaking? Nay, thou art not. In the absence of corporeal forms and the divergence they afford, perhaps such similarity in voice is unavoidable. By the way, Kofkud, have you already observed the requisite custom for the travelers? That which one is expected to do when receiving guests, a matter of proper form. Ah, yes, so long has it been. It had completely escaped my mind. And still does. What was it again? I can't seem to remember. Neither do I. Pity. I was hoping you would. Perhaps we can search the archives for the answer. Come now, Nenid. The archives have long been frozen, lest we subject ourselves to further dolor. Surely you recall that much? Ah, of course. Food. The custom is to serve food. Beings of flesh such as they must regularly replenish their aether. By contributing to their replenishment, we communicate our friendly intention. That's right. We duly invite you to join us in communal repast, after which we may engage in leisurely conversation. If we have a chance to learn something, then I see no reason to decline. Excellent. If you would care to follow, we shall feast you on the purest ether. This facility is where we replenish our ether. There is no particular name for it, but we traditionalists sometimes use the word restaurant. Now then, if you would take your place with your comrades, the space will soon be awash with purest ether. Please absorb as much as you like. You brace yourself for a rush of sweet, sweet ether. Nothing seems to happen. Perhaps you need to wait a little longer. You brace yourself again, but again nothing seems to happen. Just as I suspected. As meticulously as one might recreate Ia's home world, this is Ultima Thule. One cannot simply generate ether here. As recreations, our friends are oblivious to this fact, to the very truth of their existence, much like the phantoms of the recreated Amarot. However appearances may seem, we must ever be mindful that it is the memories of the dead with whom we deal. So, did you have your fill of ether? Alas, we couldn't absorb it. A deficiency in all forms, it would seem. Oh, how very unfortunate. May I ask how you normally replenish your ether? By eating with our corporeal forms. Through your mouths, you say? How very primitive and quaint. To think that their mouths serve not only to expel sound, but draw in sustenance besides. Such life forms have long since vanished from our systems. Though we regrettably could not partake of your magnificent feast, rest assured we feel welcome most keenly. In the course of acquainting ourselves with your sophisticated ways, however, we could not fail but wonder, wherefore do you wish to obtain vessels of flesh, and thence to vanish? Will you not favor us with an explanation? You flesh and blood beings are always so hasty. It does have its charm, however. Very well, we shall indulge you. In the beginning, when the Ia yet possessed corporeal bodies, our ancestors dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge and technological advancement. By transcending all limitations, we believe we would eliminate sorrow and abide in true happiness. From the tangible such as land to the intangible such as labor, there exist myriad hindrances to progress, but the most confining of all was the flesh itself. Our natural lifespan was distressingly middling, you see, too short to enjoy unhurried lives, yet too long to be considered disposable. Furthermore, to simply maintain the integrity of our bodies demanded considerable resources. But we managed to solve this problem. After long years, we discovered how to become non-corporeal entities with everlasting lives, untroubled by the failures of the flesh. Thus changed, we had more time and freedom to continue our scientific pursuits. We went on to make ever greater strides in our quest to transcend all limitations, until we finally decided to challenge the last of them all, the limit of knowledge. That is to say, deciphering the laws of creation. We sought to discover how the universe came into being and explain all XIV phenomena, and thence predict the future. If we could but achieve this, we believe we would be free from uncertainty and anxiety. And did you find the answers you sought? Yes, we did. Our efforts revealed to us a fundamental truth. Knowledge of said truth is essential for the continuation of our conversation. If you would learn more, we will share it with you. No, we mustn't. Primitive as they are, it would be unspeakably cruel to deprive them of their ignorance. They are possessed of corporeal forms, their lives readily ended. As those who have gone before, is it not our duty to warn them? What thinkest thou? We had deliberated and come to a consensus. If you are resolved to know it, we will disclose to you the truth we discovered, the truth of the universe. Seek us at the stone pillars, just outside the bounds of the abode, a place called Elegaia. Fundamental truth. We will hear it, of course. Let us know what has led to such an enlightened people to this indolent end. Ere we join the Ea, there is one trifling matter I would fain investigate. Green, Grahatia, might I trouble you for your assistance? But of course. My thanks. We shall head outside the abode if you would kindly follow me. I know not what mischief you're planning, Oriange, but I trust you have our best interests at heart. The rest of us will go and head to Elegaia, lest you worry we won't start without you. Also, Kira, are you talking right now?
No, why?
Because your Discord icon is just coming constantly as green.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that. I've never been able to figure that out. I just started doing that one day and never stopped.
Weird. Aye, this place shall serve. Is it the spring that you wish to investigate? Pray forgive me, my friends, but there is naught to investigate. 'Twas but a pretense to speak in private. You have our undivided attention. As we have established here in Ultima Thule, those denizens of ruined stars are recreated in their twilight days. Yet one question doth arise in my mind. So faithfully formed are the simulacra, they believe themselves yet amongst the living. How dost thou suppose this is possible? Meteor made contact with them while they still lived? Of course! She must have visited the stars of the dragons and the Ea before either race perished in their entirety. Thus could she make their emotions her own, and with them create more faithful simulacra than she relied on any historical account. So too did I theorize, and upon that assumption, consider how those two races may have met their demise. According to thine own tale, Meteion perceiveth the emotions of those nearby as her own. A heightened sense of empathy intrinsic to her nature as an entelechy. In the course of her starfaring journey, if she encountered beings who strongly desired a cessation of their existence, she would be powerless before that desire. Even as she possesseth the power to grant it, the power of Dynamis. 'Tis my supposition that, overwhelmed by their longing for death, Meteion did unleash Dynamis and usher the dragons in the Ea onto their doom. Of course, such was not always the outcome. Full many stars did she find already lost to ruin. In order to create a terminus, however, a fervent desire for the end is essential. Therefore, should you struggle to find a way forward, pray ask yourselves this. In the place where you stand, whose is the soul that yearneth most desperately for oblivion? Why do you tell us this now? Ne'er again would I betray your trust. This pledge did I make to my comrades. In bringing thee into my confidence, I would remain true to my word. As for thee, let us consider it my fitting reward for the secrets I harbored for the Crystal Exarch. I once placed my faith in thy chosen path, walking at thy side full knowing that we were bound for thy demise. I ask now that thou returnest the favor. Abide in faith as I fulfill mine own destiny. If you say my death has come due, how am I to refuse? 'Tis indelicate of me, I know full well. I can but beg for thy forgiveness. Yet even if I must needs to go such lengths, I cannot well feign ignorance of the answer I have found within. The answer to the question, in what moment might I stand strongest? After all we've been through, I will say only this. Do what you must. Do what you must and see your conviction through. I shall, my friend. I shall. Without further ado then, let us go rejoin our comrades. Let us be off to Elegea. It seems everyone is accounted for. Shall we then?
Please continue. Tell us about this truth you discovered.
Very well. Bear in mind, however, that the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not. We will forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion, the end of our society and our world.
We acknowledge, with regret, that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Deneb 3. As such, in order to avoid causing undue distress, we will refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
You are entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
In the beginning, the universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand. Having remained entirely in the bounds of your star, the phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp. But this expansion has since continued unabated.
Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery. The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies. Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter onto an eternal ice age.
In hopes of proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter. The endeavor proved fruitless. So infamously so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end, and there is no way to prevent it.
Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort. Why strive for anything when desolation is assured? When our wealth of wisdom, accumulated since the dawning of our kind, would be forever lost. No civilization would rise from our ashes. No scholar recover our knowledge. In silence unbroken, naught would stir.
Intellect was once our pride. Overnight, it became our shame. Our works, monuments to futility. Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering. Rather than suffer on, many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators. Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls, though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture.
Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, we likewise intend to vanish.
If you understand this, understand aught of our tale, you will abandon your quest for knowledge. Ignorance truly is bliss. If you would cling to your illusory happiness, remain primitive and pure. It is the only way.
So that's your story. While I appreciate your advice, I will not heed it. Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth, I have ever believed, is in the eye of the beholder.
Are you suggesting that we have reached a faulty conclusion? That our science failed us?
Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension. And that, I accept, is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the Air. But of one thing am I absolutely certain. I would not be happier in ignorance.
Y'shtola, no! You mustn't!
The most important lesson I've learned is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay, 'tis when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value. This is what has sustained me, driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow. The universe may end, and all may be for naught. But I will live as I always have. I will always seek out new knowledge. And no conclusion of yours, no matter how grim, can dampen my desire.
I suppose it is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of it all. But worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you. And we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair.
Keep calm and listen well. Though my body will soon dissipate, there may be a way to restore it. Asm's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back. But you mustn't, for it would mean losing our way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost, so press on. Press on, and do not look back.
I shall join thee. As subterfuge is not required, thou shalt not suffer for mine absence.
Riange.
My resolve hath never been as strong as thine. Full oft have I wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. This truth I have learned in the course of our journey. And many though my shortcomings may be, I may also claim to excel in prophecies. My studies, into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality. Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue.
With you to urge us on, how could we possibly fail?
What's this? An extinguished civilization. Rekindled.
That's right. Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on, and we will find you.
There. That's where you'll find me.
Is that another star?
Of the stars we visited, most were already devoid of life. And where there was life still, the inhabitants wished for death. But even death, we learned, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of the cycle of rebirth. Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow. And eventually they are reborn, alive again, to know suffering anew. True salvation lies not in dying. It lies in not being born. This is the gift I would give to you. To all life on beautiful Aetheris. To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun. Attain it if you can, before your friends' emotions fade away, along with their protection.
Are you all ready to move on? Then let us make for where that light shone. Y'shtola and Urianger have opened the way for us. I see you've made your way to the next Aetherite.
Yeah, I guess I got a lot ahead since there's not as many voice cutscenes in this one.
Neat. Oh look, an A rank. The tube. Yes, I can feel it. The aether emanating from the arcane pattern. This is a portal, and no mistake. Let us see where it leads. Travel through the portal. Now we're thinking. I'm sorry?
I wasn't expecting you to get here so fast of heading over, although I might miss helping you out with combat.
You didn't need it, did you?
No, I didn't realize it was going to trigger combat, but I do need the destination again.
Oh.
Why don't I see you? Oh, there you are. I'm just blind.
Wait, did you not do the combat yet, or did?
Oh, I did. I just didn't realize initially that it was combat.
Ah. Amazing. Yet another civilization. Attacked as soon as you arrived. Not the most welcoming of places, is it? We must try to find the denizens who are amenable to conversation. We should also get the lay of the land, see how far we can go. I'll help Alfino with that. In the meantime, you and Graha can search for friendlier folk. Apart from hostile beings, take care with your footing. I mislike the look of this terrain. Not knowing what the locals are like, you best take care of yourselves. We'll find you once we finish exploring. Kind of reminds me a lot of Omega and General 5 there.
I think this might be the place where that came from.
Good point. I expect the twins will seek the outermost bounds of the Isle, so I propose we search the central area. There are machines patrolling here and there, sentinels in all likelihood. Like those you encounter, they will most certainly attack any who venture too close. So let us avoid them and look for others that appear more approachable. As soon as I get that Aether Current.
See if you'll need combat help with that Aether Current.
Oh,
Yep.
There's a closer destination
that's
here.
annoying.
Search the area for denizens. You see Nappa patrolling machines in the area. They do not seem inclined to non-violent intercourse.
Sorry.
Well, you're fine. I think that it had me search this anyway, because it's marked as my thing.
Did you get the Aether Current though?
I'm going to it.
Oh. What?
Yeah.
Is there another one over here?
No, there's one right here.
Oh. Oh, for some reason I misremembered where it was. I thought it was right where you had gotten attacked.
Ah, no. Right. You tune to the Aetherite. Yay! Look, Green. The machines here do not appear hostile. Let's see if we can communicate with them. Begging your pardon, we are searching for the denizens of this star. Zzz. Unknown life forms detected. Assigning generic label, interplanetary travelers. Greetings and welcome to the planet. Bleep, bloop. The planet? What? Could you please repeat that? It appears your hearing organ is unable to process the name in our tongue. It may be translated into yours as Alphatron. Our people, meanwhile, are called the Omicrons, and you stand within one of our outposts. The Omicrons, you say? And what is it that you do here? We're preparing for war. As we presently do not have a designated target, you have nothing to fear. Should your star become designated, however, you will be taken into custody or terminated. Wait, did I misread that or something? What is it that you do here? Okay, I did misread that. Not a little frightening, these Omicrons, but at least they seem to be forthright. I will see what else I can learn from this fellow, if you would try speaking with the others. Greetings, traveler. When venturing outside the outpost, beware malfunctioning units. They do not heed Sir's commands, and indiscriminately attack all non-Omicrons. For the avoidance of confusion, we advise that Sir is the alias of Stigma-1. Sir issues instruction to our forces as the foremost 6 strategic matrices that bear the designation Stigma. Measuring combat capability. Result: negligible. Subject falls outside targeting parameters. Negligible! Greetings, traveler. We are Omicrons, and our objective is self-enhancement. In order to achieve this, we venture forth in conquest to acquire combat data and resources. Most recently, we succeeded in subjugating the home world of the beings whose strength is said to be without parallel, the dragons. Oh. Yet though the endeavor yielded a wealth of combat data, the star was rendered barren and unable to yield resources. A subsequent costing determined that the losses incurred exceeded the gains. So these guys are the one that killed the dragons. Bleep bloop. Autonomous weapon deployment complete. Vanguard armament upgrade complete. Munition levels satisfactory. Combat readiness assessment nominal. Waiting instructions from Sir. Maintaining state of combat readiness. You learned a few things. So did I. Ere we share our findings, however, I believe it best to step outside the outpost. Come with me. Ah, there you are. We finished serving the area. This will come as to no surprise, but there was no way forward. There were portals like the one we used to get here, but those that worked only sent us to isolated isles. Then as before, we must locate the embodiment of the emotion that bars the way. What of yourselves? Did you find anyone to speak with? So the Omicrons seek to advance themselves through conquest. Following their victory over the dragons, they stand ready for the next campaign, but their leader has yet to issue new commands, and so they wait. In such a place, who could it be that fits Urianger's description? A soul whose yearning for oblivion surpasses all others. Urianger said this during our investigation before we joined you in Elegea. So that's the way of it. Why couldn't he just say it to all of us? Given what we know of this place, it's certainly a curious state of affairs. While the dragons in the air long for death, the Omicrons long for conflict. As much as that may lead to destruction, it must be considered a distinct desire. In order to find the source of the dominant emotion, I believe we should seek out their leader, this Sir. According to M-032, the first Omicron with whom we spoke, there is a console by which we might communicate with it. M-032 added that it would be a pointless exercise, but that in itself, I believe, is worth investigating. What say you? Jesus Christ, this quest text is getting more and more illegible.
Well, it looks like it's supposed to be either hell or hope. I think it's supposed to be hope, not found.
Maybe. So the console we seek lies on the far side of this aisle. Given the nature of the ground, the route may not be entirely direct as it seems. Let us all watch our step as we make our way. Oh, hello, Bahamut Bob. I need to go and tune to this Aether, right? Oh, I already attuned to it. What am I saying?
Oof. Well, they can at least unlock the gemstone trader, maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be flat out cutscene.
Oh, have fun.
I'll catch up real fast.
You will. Awaken! Activate! Password! This appears to be the console. But it seems unresponsive. Would you care to take a look at it? Sure, right as soon as I get that lookout point. By the way, there's a lookout point.
Well, I'll have to go for it.
Yeah, it's to the west of the objective area. Oh, there's an Aether current to the east of it. Or northeast of it.
I am baffled by this quest. But I shan't give you spoilers.
Yes, I will do them myself later, so thank you. And that should be the last Aether current. The non-quest one. You tried touching, smacking, and attuning with the console, but there's no response. No luck, I see. There must be a way to activate it. There must.
Well, I'm out of ideas.
As am I. Operating such consoles is trying enough, but if we can't even activate it...
Perhaps there is a way. First, consider the world that has been recreated here. Its inhabitants were machines who gathered combat data to enhance themselves. And among the many wars they waged, the most notable was that against the dragons. As you've doubtless surmised, I believe this was the homeworld of Omega. Sid built a jamming device to defeat it, a device which generated massive bursts of lightning, its sole weakness.
That's all well and good, but what does that... Wait. You're not thinking to strike the console with lightning, are you?
As a matter of fact, I am. Ask yourselves this. Why would an entity as puissant as Omega not be designed to suppress the effects of lightning?
Because it relies upon it, or something akin to it, as a source of energy.
My thoughts exactly. And there is a good chance the same is true of the Omicrons and their devices.
So instead of a percussive maintenance, we employ conductive maintenance.
So, shall I cast caution to the wind and try something reckless and dramatic?
Or I could use my custom-made Omega Jammer. Do I have one?
You still have it?
I do have it.
Sid and Nero's legendary device which brought low the superweapon Omega. Wait, the actual device was much too big to lug around, so you must only have the control module. And there I was getting all excited. Never mind. An old-fashioned spell will suffice.
That reminds me, how much stuff do you think we're lugging around from our previous adventures that doesn't appear on the
I don't know, maybe, forget the name of that dragon that came with us, but maybe his little soul fracture or whatever is carrying it.
Midgar Sommer.
Midgar Sommer, yeah, maybe Midgar Sommer's carrying all of it for us.
Maybe.
I mean, we have a million minions.
True.
Opening connection to communications module 1. Connection established. Transmission. Strategic Matrix Sigma 1 now online. As a primary strategic matrix, you may address me as Sir. Checking for new communications. None found. All units, please maintain current state. End transmission. Closing connection.
Wait! We have questions for you. Of late, no mission orders have been issued. Why not? Has there been some manner of trouble?
Reply. The Extended Operations Unit is yet to determine guidelines for future assignments. All strategies are calculated, devised, and actioned in accordance with said guidelines. In the interim, all citizens are directed to maintain a state of combat readiness. End reply. Awaiting query.
Can you tell us why the Extended Operations Unit hasn't yet determined the guidelines?
Unable to comply. Information unavailable or access restricted.
In that case, is it possible for us to communicate directly with the unit?
Access denied. Unable to establish connection.
Is there anything you can tell us? Have there been any abnormalities, like a threat to the star or widespread unrest?
Reply. Negative. All citizens continue to operate at maximum efficiency. If your operations are suboptimal, please proceed to a maintenance facility for evaluation. Otherwise, stand by at your designated post. End reply. End transmission. Closing connection.
I could activate it again, but I doubt it would be productive. What do you think?
If all the Omicrons really were running as efficiently as it claimed, then I doubt they were hoping for life here to end. As this Sir told us, there just haven't been any new instructions, and everyone is standing by.
Should be standing by at any rate. If there are those that are neglecting their duties, perhaps we can glean a clue from them. I propose we take another look around, and also try to find the operations unit.